Alright, welcome back to another Project Resurrection video. Today we're going to be tapping in some stuff in the floor. I've gotten both pieces of the floor completely done, aside from the top portion. Probably going to paint the bottom of it before it actually gets installed. But for today, we're going to go ahead and clean up these areas around where I've already sanded and everything. That way we can lay down some of the fiberglass and stuff. That's pretty much to just make sure that nothing shifts or whatnot as the boat's flexing. I've already got everything, put together with 610 epoxy, but that by itself is not enough strength to hold all of this. So we're just going to go ahead and tap it all in so it's nice and strong. And after that, we'll probably end up painting the bottom of the floor and hopefully putting the floor in pretty darn soon. I've made a decision, and that decision is that I'm going to get a hot battery up here and see if the engine's going to spin over. My main concern is that this engine has sat for so long that it may be locked up. I have tried to turn it by hand, but I mean, with a big old 4-cylinder Perkins, I think it's like somewhere around 120, 130 psi per cylinder, so I mean, it's decent amount of compression to be trying to turn by hand, so that may be why I couldn't turn it by hand. But on the off chance that the reason I can't turn it is because it's locked up, then I don't know, I might try some Marvel's Mystery Oil and cross our fingers on that. But if it ends up just being completely screwed, I think I'm just gonna go electric. I do like the idea of keeping a diesel in here just because of my experience on Amicus. It's nice to have that backup where you can charge up your house bank and that kind of stuff, and pretty much have a decent amount of range. When you get into electric motors, you're really starting to get kind of cut off on how far you can go. So of course, I'm sure if you have plenty of solar, it's perfectly fine, but this boat has a massive boom, and she's not gonna have a whole lot of solar. I mean, I'm gonna try to squeeze about 500, 600 watts back there, above the helm, but that's gonna be about all the solar this boat can get, unless I can come up with something else. But we're not even worried about that right now. Right now, we're going to clean this so we can fiberglass it. Alright, so here's kind of a close-up of this being done. So pretty much every joint, every corner, all fiberglassed. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side over here along this edge, and then I'm gonna clean up back here and do the same thing on that side. I'll probably lay a layer of glass over the top here. Now, I'm sure some of y'all who may not be experienced in fiberglass and are probably wondering why I went with chop strand and then I did the cloth. I used chop strand because that's going to be your adhesion layer. That's what pretty much makes the bond, sort of. But anyways, so chop strand is adhesion, and then the cloth, which is this stuff right here. So this is chop strand, that's cloth. The cloth is for the structural part of things. Now, I do have this, which would be complete overkill for this. And I'm debating it, but I think I'm gonna use this in some more structural areas. I think I may use that stuff down here in the keel, really build that area up, since I've had issues with the, you know, that little curvature spot right there. This I'm not too worried about with going crazy with, you know, strength. I mean, it should be perfectly fine. Like, I mean, that's something that was not there before that is there now, so I don't imagine that it's gonna really take too much strain. But yeah, so I'm not gonna bore y'all with doing this process over here and then in here. So yeah, I reckon, I don't know what the next cut of the video is gonna be, because, you know, that's just the way I am. But probably gonna be I don't know, I can't tell you, I don't have a clue. I don't plan that far ahead. But definitely once this is down, gonna probably paint this, you know, to make it halfway decent, mostly just to protect the epoxy and stuff. And then probably paint the inside of here. And then once that's done, gotta grind a little bit right here, and then make our template to set in a piece here, set in a piece there, and then we'll have 2 storage boxes on either side, and that should really be all that I need. And I'll probably leave this open, either that, or I might do a small little, like maybe 2-inch brace going from that side to that side, just to help tie everything in. I know that's really important on a sailboat, is making sure that everything is tied in. And if anybody's wondering how that wasp nest, you know, that I moved is doing, they now have a fantastic family of little stingy boys, and yeah, they haven't bothered me, so I'll just leave them alone, as long as they leave me alone. But they don't leave me alone, and brake cleaner and charcoal lighter will probably take care of that pretty quickly. I ended up using fast hardener on this first batch, which was a major mistake. So yeah, if you're in Florida and it's hot, which is like all the time, maybe don't use fast hardener. And if you do, don't mix a giant box, or not box, but batch like I did. That was pretty stupid of me. I think I've just been out of the loop for a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know. Next part of this video is gonna be a surprise for all of us, because I don't have a clue what I'm gonna do next. So yeah. All right. So as always, I've done a lot and haven't videoed any of it, but the best I can do right now is just give y'all nice little updates on how everything's going, because yeah, my life has kind of been preoccupied. I've, you know, been watering some other flowers, so I've just been pretty preoccupied. Anyways, I have fiberglassed in this bulkhead here, which I'm gonna do this side next. This bulkhead has been put in, which all this used to be 1/2 inch, it's now 3/4 inch. This side has been glassed in on both sides, so there and there. I've decided that I'm actually going to use that really thick stuff on like this bulkhead here, this one here. Probably gonna run it along these 2 main ones here. Really just the main structural bulkheads I'm gonna run that thick stuff on, and then the rest of it I didn't really explain too good in the previous video, but right here where this, you know, the curve is where, you know, the bottom of the hull kind of goes down into the keel, this is where I'm gonna be laying up that thick stuff. Now I'm gonna build it up pretty dang thick, like way too thick. And I've still gotta fill in the gap that's right here. But floor is pretty much good. There's only one more spot I gotta fiberglass, and then I can sand everything and paint it before I put this final section of floor on. So this is what we're looking at. That's pretty much all that I've got of fiberglass is this whole backside edge here. I took this out of the way because I fiberglassed pretty much everything in here. I mean, everything, like all of it is fiberglassed. It's good to go. I ended up running some epoxy down on this this bottom edge here, and I ran some down in the cracks in here and over here just to help make sure that there's no gap or anything for it to be able to vibrate and squeak on. I've started glassing over the top of these here. I'm gonna sand that down where it's nice and pretty. Probably gonna add another layer of matte and then cloth. And then I gotta do it on this side as well. But you'll have seen me do plenty of fiberglassing so far, but don't worry, I will show more fiberglassing. Next thing to do is to rip this final piece down, and then I'm gonna grab some more fiberglass after I sand the white paint along this edge here. Once I sand that all off, then I can lay a layer of cloth up here. Thinking about doing a reinforcement, pretty much thingamajigger, whatever you wanna call it, I don't know, but it's gonna go from here back to about right here, and then I'm gonna have one go from this right here across and pretty much meet up with the other window on the other side, just because I wanna have some sort of cross bracing. And also there's gonna be some sort of headliner that's gonna be insulated, because I've got plenty of experience in Florida weather on a boat, and I can tell you this entire hull needs to be insulated from the water line up. So other than that, got a little bit of trimming to do over here, because at some point, I don't know where, but I had a measurement become wrong, and I don't know where, but so this side, first of all, I don't like how it overhangs over here, and then it's flat on here. Like that's good that it's flat on the pan, and then over here we've got a gap, and it kind of lines up. So somewhere I got a measurement wrong, but it's okay, because I'm just gonna trim this, this side right here, just trim it up a little bit, make a curve, and then over here, more than likely, I'm just gonna fiberglass one side of it, fill the other side with thickened epoxy, and she'll be fine. Other update, fiberglass that over there, and all along the bottom edge here, which you can't see. I have not fiberglassed the back side of this yet, but I'm going to when the weather cools down just a tad, because it's been like heat index of like 105 here lately. It's been. Also, I've kind of decided that my water tanks are now gonna be fuel tanks, because I did not realize that fuel tank is only 38 gallons. So when I chopped the legs off, I thought I was still gonna have plenty of fuel, but 38 gallons is not enough for that diesel guzzler. So, yeah, we're gonna turn the water tanks into fuel tanks, which is gonna be nice, because it'll pretty much be a straight shot. I mean, just connect the two lines across the boat like the water tank was, and then it's just gonna go straight that way to the engine, and that's gonna give me every bit of storage underneath this compartment here where the fuel tank used to be. And then we're going to pretty much build a big water tank underneath the V-berth. Not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it yet. More than likely, I'm gonna take that bulkhead right there, and I'm going to use it as a baffle. But I'm gonna remove that bulkhead, replace it with G10, and probably do the same thing back here with this one, and then add it going across the boat here, pretty much being another baffle. And I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of weight being in the front of the boat, right? Well, don't worry, because there's gonna be so much solar on the back of this boat, along with having a dinghy up on the dinghy davits, that when this boat's under sail, she's gonna be balanced. So I'm not concerned about it. And plus, I mean, I'm gonna be building a little bit extra on the back here to where there's actually storage back there. So don't worry, I have thought about weight. Now, the last update, well, not really last. So this is another one of my updates I'm super proud about. Look at that joint, it's amazing, huh? Anyways, next one, if I can get out of here one-handed. Oh, there we go. This is where I'm planning on putting some hatches. That one's gonna go over the settee. These two are in the head, one over there, one over there. And then I added another one in the V-berth. So that is the hatch layout that I'm planning to do so far. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hatches,
plus 9 opening port lights, plus the 2 door ads. So plenty of ventilation, hopefully. And the back window also slides open, and then you got the hatch with the louvered doors as well. So plenty of ventilation. One of my next projects here pretty soon is going to be getting a layer of primer or something on this. I might lay another layer of glass over this just because, you know, it kind of seems to be cracking a little bit. So I'm going to sand this down pretty good, lay another layer of glass on top, and then ferret out, which I don't like how this kind of comes up a little bit, but it is what it is. I'll ferret out. It doesn't have to be perfect, just functional. And then stuff like this here is another thing I'm worried about, these cracks that run in here, but they don't, I don't think they go all the way through. I think this is just the gel coat cracking, because I mean, as you can see, it is just cracked all the way down. So yeah, gonna be a lot of sanding and grinding and fairing and more sanding, and it's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's pretty much the update for right now. I'm gonna probably go ahead and use this as the ending of this video, just because there's so much going on right now. I got another car, and you know, of course, you know, it was a Mercedes, and the dang ABC, the active body control line, ended up blowing out. So that's a nightmare in itself. And yeah, I'm trying to plan a trip right now to go to Cape San Blas. So I mean, might be able to do a video on that. If you know, that's, I mean, it seems like that's something that y'all would want to see, so I'll probably do a video for that. But and then y'all get to see the flower that I've been watering. So yeah, I've been very busy. Sorry I haven't uploaded a video here lately, but this is the update.